How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore. The king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
No idea, you tell me.
What do you want from me?
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
I want to improve my abilities.
Hey, where you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him?
He and I go way back.
You're a pal of Lee's? I don't believe a word. But go on in. If he doesn't recognize you, you'll know it. Lee's in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else. Do you really believe that? That's been known a long time.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
You listen to the wrong people. What's up?
What's up? If you have a problem with wolves or field raiders,
Damn it.
go talk
What
to
do
one of
you
the younger
want?
mercenaries. You can come to me when the paladins show up here.
What?
Whenever one of you peasants comes to me, it's always about slaughtering innocent beasts.
I'm not a peasant.
Oh? What is it you want then?
teach me how to fight.
I only train mercenaries or worthy candidates.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. Two factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
How come there are two factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then. But some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the Yorks. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation. Plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
It was just like you said.
Everything fine with you?
If it's something important, go talk to Lee. Otherwise, leave me alone.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
I'm no better off myself.
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
That's all just gossip.
It can't go on like this forever.
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
You mustn't believe everything.
Sure.
He got caught by the paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with paladins and orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
That's not what I heard.
What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
There's nothing you can do about it.
It can't go on.
I
like this
absolutely
forever.
must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the paladins?
That's a long story.
Believe everything
I've
you
got
hear.
time.
Zardos sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Enos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
But he knew that all along.
How can you help me get to the Paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the Paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
That's the first I've heard of it.
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
That's all just gossip.
It can't go on like this forever.
What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Amazes me anymore.
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
Is it really
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torloff. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
I thought as much.
Do you really believe that?
I've got my own opinion about that.
Damn it. What's up?
You know who to believe these days.
Wouldn't be so sure.
That's all just gossip.
Hey! I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh, and why do you think I should be in favor of you being accepted here?
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
He said you would help me.
Fine, so here we go. There are two things you have to do before you can join us. First, you have to prove that you're capable of mastering the tasks that you will have to fulfill as a mercenary. I'll put you to the test. And second, you have to earn the respect of the other mercenaries.
Well, how can I earn the respect of the other mercenaries?
For most of them, it'll be enough if you fulfill your task and pass my test. Or you'll have to find some other way of convincing some of them. Some will try and exploit your situation, and others may not like your mug. You should try to get along with as many of the boys as possible. But if nothing else helps, then you can always take part in a duel. If you win, you'll earn the respect of most of them. But watch out that you don't kill one of them by accident, because then you'll have a big problem.
So why won't they listen to me?
What are the rules for a duel?
Quite simple. Both opponents have to have the opportunity to draw their weapons before the first blow. You can't just go and belt one of the men without warning. There has to be some sort of spoken challenge, an insult, or another reason to fight. None of the other men will interfere in a fight like that, unless one of the two gets killed in the duel.
Trouble as it is.
I agree with you completely. Do you really believe that?
That will never change.
Nobody
What are my duties as a mercenary?
Onar hired us for two reasons. He wants us to keep the militia off his back, and he wants us to keep things in order on his farms. That includes collecting the rent when the small farmers won't pay. So, what'll it be?
I'm not touching that.
There's nothing you can do about it. I'm not telling you anything.
Let me collect the rent.
Good. Listen, the farmer Sekab hasn't paid his rent to Onar for weeks. Onar wants him to cough up 50 gold pieces. Any questions?
Where is Sekob's farm?
In the north of the valley. Looking from here, that's to the right at the big crossroads. If you have problems, the farmers in the fields will help you find your way around the area.
I'm no better off myself.
You should really have known better.
What about you? Will you vote me in?
If you can prove that you can fulfill the duties of a mercenary, yes.
That was obvious all along. You listened to the wrong people.
Tell me that isn't true.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
You listened to the wrong people. He never would have thought of that himself.
But he knew that all along.
Tell me more about the area.
The big farm here in the east of the valley is Onar's. Sekup's farm lies to the north, and Bengar's farm is on the high plain to the southwest. You can get there from the valley. There's a big stone stairway that leads there. That's not what I heard.
I'm not touching that.
Hey,
This is really didn't deserve that.
hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
Know that. No one really wants to hear that.
Don't say it was quite obvious.
Nobody wants to know.
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
Show me your wares.
What can I offer you?
Listen to me.
I'm not telling you anything new. Nobody will have any of me.
You just have to listen.
This is gonna change.
That was obvious all along. My business are off myself.
You can't rely on it.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
Isn't me anymore. Tell me you know that about it.
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
That's been going on a long time.
That's no secret.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
That doesn't surprise me. Nobody will listen to that. I can't help it.
You can't rely on it.
Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
I want to learn more about archery.
What should I teach you?
I've come to join you.
Why not? I've got nothing against it. Anyway, you freed our mine from the guards back then. But don't count on getting along with the others here so easily. A lot of newbies have come along since then, and some of the old mercenaries won't remember you. I almost didn't recognize you. You look rather haggard.
When the barrier fell, I barely got away with my life.
Looks like you got lucky then.
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job. Even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
Nothing amazes me anymore. Insisted he knew better.
I couldn't get away with that. Just forever.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Or do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform. And then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
No one really wants to. That doesn't surprise me. You know who to believe these days.
No one really wants to hear that.
I've got no time for things like that.
I never knew that.
That will never change.
For me.
He thinks it's as
You
easy
hardly know
as
who
that.
to believe these days.
That was no big deal.
Hey! Will you vote for me?
But then, why not? 50 gold pieces is a fair price for a vote, don't you think?
What can you tell me about this area?
There are 3 farms here. Owners to the east and Sekob's in the north end of the valley. There's a path up to the high plain in the southwest. That's where Bengar's farm is.
Tell me more about the area.
The big farm here in the east of the valley is Onar's. Sekob's farm lies to the north, and Bengar's farm is on the high plain to the southwest. You can get there from the valley. There's a big stone stairway that leads there.
That's all just gossip.
And there's more, believe.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
No idea. You tell me.
Hey! Can you teach me how to fight better?
You're not nearly as dumb as you look. All right, I'll teach you what I know. Then maybe you'll even stand a fair chance against me.
That's really not my problem.
Can't rely on that.
These are bad times.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Now that's typical.
Listen to the wrong people. That'll only cause more trouble.
What are you doing here?
My name is Brahim. I draw maps and sell them. Since you're new here, maybe you could use a map of the city? It's quite affordable and very useful until you know your way around.
Show me your maps.
We don't say. That's not what I heard.
I can't take care of everything.
That's what I've always said. That's what I've always said.
It's going to get worse. And he wants all
These are bad times. Everybody knows it.
That's terrible. He can't keep anything to himself.
Honestly, nobody's gonna
Don't tell this to anyone. Who says things like that?
can't keep anything to himself. These are bad times.
Everybody knows by now.
Come back again later. I'm sure to have something new for you then.
Who says things like that?
Hey, you!
He had better shut up.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
He had better shut up. Everybody knows by now.
That's terrible.
He can't keep anything to himself.
You don't say.
That's not what my husband thinks.
That's an open secret.
Boy, that lunatic's hammering is wearing me down.
Who are you talking about?
Can't you hear that hammering? Who do you think hammers all day long in the Harbor District? I mean that lunatic felon. He takes the hammer to his hut every day.
Are those your sheep?
The only one that belongs to me is the one that answers to the name of Lucy. That's my wife, Lucy. The sheep belong to the militia. All the sheep they collect from the farmers, they bring to me.
And how are the sheep?
Felon's hammering is going to drive them crazy. One of these days, they'll go completely to pieces.
I could take care of Felon.
You want to help me? What's in it for you?
You tell me.
Oh, that's how it is. All right, if you can get him to stop hammering, I'll pay you 25 gold pieces. But I'll tell you one thing right now. You can't talk to the guy. He's nuts. The only thing that will help is a few decent punches.
If I beat him up, I'll just get into trouble with the militia.
Down here at the harbor, no one pays much attention to brawls. But if you steal around here or mess with the sheep, you'll be in trouble.
I'll see what I can do.
You can think about it. Remember, I'll pay you 25 gold coins.
decree is hereby enacted. Martial law is immediately declared in all cities and regions of the realm. All civilian judges are to hand over their duties to the royal paladins, effective immediately. The Honorable Lord Andre is commanded to punish every
What's new?
crime
I
or
wonder
act of
why the
resistance
paladins are
against
here
the
at
king's
all.
guards
They're
most
holding the
severely.
town hall, the
Every
barracks, and the
inhabitant of
harbor,
Corinthus who
but
is
they haven't
guilty of a
actually done
crime
anything
is
so
to
far.
report
If they were here
immediately
about the
to Andre.
orcs or the bandits, they would have done something ages ago. There must be another reason.
I'm no better off myself.
These are bad times.
That's been known a long time.
Hey!
Really? How interesting.
I agree with you completely.
What are you doing here?
This is my home. But if you mean, what do I do all day? I arrange fights.
You arrange fights?
Every day, from noon until evening. And right here, behind the warehouse in the harbor district. Home sweet home.
He never would have thought of that himself.
You live behind the warehouse?
It's only temporary. When you have as much gold as I do, you can afford a little luxury. I was a drill instructor in the army, but I left that bunch to seek my fortune in adventure. Now I've wound up in this shithole. My last 100 gold pieces went to the guards at the city gate. So, I'm seeing to it that I come into money again. I even had to sell my sword.
To whom did you sell the sword?
I swapped it with a trader in the marketplace for some stuff. The guy's called Jorah. The torches and the bit of meat that he gave me are long used up.
He isn't likely to give me the sword for nothing.
It's an old sword. He won't want much for it. Just think of the money as an extra stake for the fight.
What are the rules for the fight?
Quite simple. All regular weapons are allowed, no bows or crossbows, and no magic. We fight until one of us drops. And as soon as one of us is flat on his back, it's over. Got it? Whoever leaves the ring is out. So if you quit, I win. The stake is 50 gold coins. If you win, you get 100 back. If not, well, then your money is down the drain. Got it?
Yep. What do you know about the war against the orcs?
There's not much to tell. The war's been going on for too long. The country people are starving. Everywhere there are peasant revolts that are put down mercilessly by the king. But there's just too many of them. If the war doesn't end soon, the realm will fall apart.
Can you train me?
If you really want to learn how to fight, then go up against me. The lesson is no extra charge.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinthus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted.
That's not what I heard.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
That's an open secret.
Hey,
He
you!
doesn't see that. I can't help him.
Why are you hammering?
Someone's gotta do the
For
work.
days now, I've been desperately trying to fix the leaks in my house. The rafters have been crumbling away ever since we had those rainfalls recently.
will learn anything.
Soon everything's gonna come down around my
Honestly, I
ears.
noticed it myself.
Wait a minute.
He'd better shut.
Hello? Are you feeling quite well?
Fine, just as long as I manage to get all this repaired in time.
You don't say.
Wait a minute.
That's really not my problem.
I never knew that.
I can't take care of everything for everybody. He can't keep anything to himself.
Telling you anything new.
I agree with you completely.
Don't tell his dad.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I won't tell her a thing from now on. And he works all day. can't keep anything to himself.
That was obvious all along.
It's not what I heard.
Don't tell this to anyone.
Hey!
I'd have gone about it.
Has anything exciting happened lately?
Not long ago, the city guards turned the entire harbor district upside down. They were searching for stolen property. There've been plenty of thefts here lately, especially in the better quarters. They're obviously trying to blame the poor suckers at the harbor for everything.
Go away, don't tell me that.
Is it really true?
You don't say. That's not what I heard.
That doesn't surprise me.
Could you cook me some soup?
Nothing could be simpler. Here, have a plate.
And he works all day too. I don't believe it.
I never knew that.
That's not what I heard.
That's really not my problem.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Really, how interesting.
It's so worked up.
It's a bad business.
I've heard a thing or two. Get that from me.
Who says things like that?
I knew that one.
Welcome to my shop, stranger. I am Basper. I craft bows and trade in furs. What brings you to Corinus?
I've heard that someone stole from you.
Who told you that? Probably Bartok, huh? Didn't he have anything better to tell you? Oh, well. Let me tell you, if I get hold of this bastard, he can say his prayers. I left the shop for only a moment. When I came back, I could only just see him leave, with my bow on his shoulder. I called the guards right away, but the lowlife ran towards the harbor, and they lost him there. I lit a bonfire under their asses then, and they searched the entire harbor district, but they didn't find a thing. Those bumbling lackeys. I bet my bow is still in town somewhere. I informed the guards on both city gates, and they haven't seen anyone leave with my bow. When I get my hands on that bastard.
Show me your wares.
Don't say you didn't know that.
I'm looking for work.
I could use a new apprentice. The last one just gave up his job 2 days ago. Do you know anything about hunting then?
Well...
I could teach you how to skin animals. I'll pay you well for every skin you bring me.
Why did your apprentice give up his job?
All he said was that it had become too dangerous out there. If you're really interested, then you can ask him yourself. His name is Bartok. He's probably hanging out near Corrigan's Tavern. Go through the underpass from the smithy, then you're headed straight for it.
I want to start as your apprentice.
Before I take you on, I need to know, of course, whether you're any good at all.
What do you want me to do for you?
I will teach you how to skin an animal, and you will bring me, let's say, half a dozen wolf skins. Then I'll know that you have learned your trade. If it doesn't take you forever, and if the skins are in acceptable condition, I will take you on if you like.
What if I want to sign on with one of the other masters?
Balderdash. Herod and Matteo already have apprentices. Constantino the alchemist is a loner, and he hasn't taken an apprentice in years. And as for Thorben, everyone knows he's dead broke. He probably couldn't even pay it. I, on the other hand, am in urgent need of an apprentice, and I pay well, too. But no matter where you want to sign on, you need the approval of all other masters from the lower part of town.
Hey!
I never knew that.
But he knew that all along.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
He really didn't deserve that. Really didn't deserve that.
You listen to the wrong people.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
Can you heal me?
Adanos, bless this body. Free it of its wounds and strengthen it with new life. And so he set himself between his brothers in order to reconcile.
I'd have gone about it differently.
He didn't get that from me.
That doesn't surprise me.
I wouldn't be so sure.
That's all just gossip.
What can I do for you?
What are you selling?
I can offer you everything you need to survive in the wild. Weapons, torches, provisions, even armor. I still have a special piece in stock. Double hardened armor of snapper leather. Still unused. Interested?
Show me your wares. What do you know about paladins?
Since these bastards have come to the city, I've had nothing but trouble. The last time I was headed for the upper end of town, the guards flat out stopped me and asked me what was my business there.
And?
Of course they let me in. I had my shop in the city when most of those pompous asses were still chasing pigs with wooden swords. And yesterday, the bastards came and confiscated half of my goods.
The paladins seized your goods.
Everything I had stored in the backyard. They simply posted a guard in front of the entrance to the yard. If I'm lucky, they won't take everything. At least they might leave the armor here.
Can you help me get into the upper quarter?
What? What are you going to do there?
I've got an important message.
Well, well. Have you tried getting past the guards?
Oh man, forget it.
That's typical of those beggars. I don't know how important your message is, and it's none of my business. But even if you told them that a ship full of orcs just anchored in the harbor, they'd send you away. Because they have their orders.
So can you help me get into the upper quarter?
It seems to be really important to you. The question is, how important is it to you?
What are you getting at?
I can help you. After all, I'm one of the most influential people here. But it'll cost you.
What are you asking for your help?
100 gold pieces.
That's a whole damn lot.
Take it easy. It isn't your gold I have in mind.
But
in principle, it's my gold. Gritta, the carpenter's niece, hasn't paid what she owes me in ages. But the little brat is constantly running around in new clothes. That means she has the money. I'd like to beat it out of her. But Master Thorben, the carpenter, is also a very influential man. Get me the money and I'll help you.
How exactly can you help me?
Quite simple. I'll use my influence to see to it that one of the master craftsmen here takes you on as an apprentice. As such, you'll practically be a citizen of the city and can enter the upper quarter. Besides which, you'll earn something while you're at it.
Why don't you take me on as an apprentice?
I would, but the other masters wouldn't agree. I just recently took on another apprentice.
Where could I sign on as an apprentice then?
Basically, with any master here on the main street. That would be Harrod the smith, Bospa the bowmaker, Thorben the carpenter, or Constantino the alchemist. One of them is bound to take you on. But it's important that the other masters agree. That's always been the custom here in Corinus.
Is there another way to get into the upper quarter?
Perhaps. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
How do I get the approval of the other masters?
You just have to convince them. Go and talk to them. But if more than one of them is against you, you don't stand a chance. So behave yourself.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
One thing at a time. First fulfill your part of the deal and bring me the gold.
Where can I find this Gritta?
Like I said, she's the carpenter's niece. His house is down the street, the last house on the right before the smithy.
We can only wait and see.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
It's not what I heard.
And Enos gave unto him a portion of his divine power, so that he might undo the work of Beliar.
What do you want, stranger? If you've come to beg, I must disappoint you. I am a poor widow. My name is Gritta. Ever since my husband died, I have been running the household for my uncle Thorben.
How's it going?
Same as always. but I don't want to complain.
Trees and animals were also washed.
Mateo sent me. You still owe him some gold.
He wants his money. What for? The goods he delivered were flawed, bad fabric, and bad seams. And did you look at the colors? Those are not the colors I ordered. That's fraud, that is. Let me tell you, back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband. Such a good man he was. Handsome, hardworking, a gentleman of the old school. We had it all. Wealth, happiness. Sometimes we were even invited to high society events. The festivities, all the beautiful clothes and hairdos, the fine dining and civilized conversations. Everything was better back then. No one would have dared to humiliate the heart of a poor widow with such ridiculous claims. Whatever shall I do? My pension is barely enough to make ends meet, and times are getting even rougher. One sees it everywhere. People must scrimp and save. It's been weeks since the last ship came to town. My husband was the captain of a merchant ship. Actually, he even owned the ship. From his long journeys, he always brought me presents. Exquisite fabrics from the mainland, precious spices from the southern countries. Most people haven't even heard of these things. But then, one day, I got the tidings that the Gritta had sunk. That was the name of the ship. My husband called it that out of love for me. I wept and prayed that my husband had survived the disaster. Every day I hoped to hear from him, but all my longing was in vain. May Innos have mercy on his soul. May he rest in peace. Since that time, I have been living under these modest circumstances, and now this soulless, callous Mateo is after the last bit of my life savings. Please have mercy on a poor woman. Back when my husband was alive, he wouldn't have dared to do that. Oh, my poor husband.
Cut it out. Where's the gold?
But I don't have the gold. I'm only a poor widow.
I'm gonna pay the sum for you.
You would do that for me? Oh, I knew you weren't a greedy bastard like that Mateo.
Yeah, never mind.
Come back once you've taken care of that. I want to show you my gratitude.
It can't go on like this forever.
He doesn't see that. I can't help it.
I've got my own opinion about that.
It's a bad business.
That was quite obvious.
Show me your wares. Show me your wares.
can't believe that.
Here's your 100 gold pieces.
You want to pay for her? I'd have preferred it if you'd squeezed it out of her. Still, 100 gold pieces is 100 gold pieces. You've held up your part of the deal.
Help me sign on as an apprentice with one of the masters.
Don't worry. I'll keep my part of the bargain. The other masters will only hear the best about you from me.
I never knew that.
Hey!
It was very noble of you to pay for me. I want to show you my gratitude. Here's a bottle of wine which my husband, may Innos rest his soul, brought back from the southern islands. Also, I'm going to spread the news around. At last there's somebody in town whose virtue...
Yeah, never mind.
As long as there are men like you in this town, I still have hope that everything will turn out well.
But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land.
It was just like you said.
He never would have thought of that himself.
I'm not touching that.
That's really not my problem.
Nothing to be had there.
Why are you hanging around on my land? Whose side are you on? The rebelling farmers or the king?
I don't understand.
What? Don't mess with me, boy. I want to know where you stand. So who are you for?
I'm for the peasants.
Ha! That damned warmonger Onar will drag us all into the grave. What do you think? How long will the paladins just stand by? After what Onar has done, the whole city is in an uproar.
What's going on here anyway?
Don't you know what's going on? Boy, where are you from? We're on the edge of a civil war. Up till now, all the farmers looked at the tribute to the city as fair taxation. But since the paladins have come to Corinthus, the city guards visit us more and more often. And little by little, they're taking everything. If it goes on like this, soon we won't have anything left for ourselves. Some farmers are starting to rebel. Onar was the first of them.
What about you? Whose side are you on? Peasants or king?
I'm too close to the city to really have a choice, but I'm glad about that. I wouldn't know how to decide. The king is bleeding us dry, And Onar sets his mercenaries on anyone who won't join him. That's why most of the other farmers are still undecided, but sooner or later they'll have to choose one side or the other.
I need some sensible clothes.
I can give you clean farmer's work clothes. Can you pay for them then? Well, you could work off a part of the price, if you're someone who is looking for work.
How much for the work clothes?
Well, we'll see. 70 gold pieces.
Well, that's still too expensive.
Well, suit yourself.
Hey, stranger. I saw how you came out of the mountains. You can be glad you didn't come by here 3 weeks ago. We would have taken you for an escaped convict. And we made short work of those. You look completely done in. What do you want here?
I was attacked by bandits in the mountains.
Those filthy rabble. They were probably the same bastards who took one of our sheep last night. You had terrific luck. Most people don't get away alive.
I know the hideout of the bandits.
Do you want to attack them? Count me out. It's much too dangerous. Besides, I have to watch over my sheep. But if you think you can get the riffraff off our backs, the whole farm would be very grateful to you.
I need better equipment.
I can imagine. But I tell you right now, we don't have anything to give away. If you can pay for what you want, Lobart will sell you something. Otherwise, go to him and ask him if he has work for you. There's another of those scummy beasts. Ah! Well done! One dirty beast less. There's another of those scummy beasts. One less monster around.
Wait a minute.
Nothing to plunder.
Hey! Can you heal me?
Adanos, bless this body. Free it of its wounds and strengthen it with new life.
Things I could tell you. Just have to listen. Would never change.
That's not what I heard.
That's exactly what I said. You really believe that? That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, wait. Don't tell me that.
It can't go on like this forever. Tell me you didn't know that. I'd have gone about it
That's
differently.
an open secret.
Hey. How are things?
Ah, a new face here on the farm. Has the old skinflint finally granted me an apprentice?
I'm not an apprentice.
Oh, I see. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know, and I've been waiting for a replacement for years. You aren't here because the neighbors are annoyed, are you?
What's the work you do here?
Oh, I guard the sheep, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. The animals are very loyal and very smart, you see. If you treat them well, they'll follow you for a lifetime.
What's the trouble with your neighbors?
The grass on this side of the big field is always so stunted and dry, so I mostly go to the big pastures of the other farmers. Oh, the landowner doesn't mind, but Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, always makes a big deal out of it when I take the animals up there. He says Sekab should pay if I take his animals onto Bengar's pasture, but Sekab won't spend a measly coin for that, so I can't go up onto the plateau anymore.
Maybe I should talk to Bengar.
You do that for me? What will you tell him? I mean, I don't want any trouble, you hear?
We'll see about that. Where can I find the high pastures in Bengar's farm?
Follow this path and cross the big crossroad. If you stick to the right, you'll see a big outcropping of rock. Behind that, to the right, are the high pastures and the pass.
Everything else all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
Well, kiddo?
That's no way for a farmhand to talk to me. Just how often do I have to remind you?
Are you in charge here?
No, I'm only Sekup's son. But once my old man is no longer with us, then all the land you can see here will belong to me.
Amazing. Is that how you always treat your field workers?
Of course, they need that. Whoever doesn't toe the line here gets thrashed. That's the way it goes.
So what do you do when you're not busy playing ruler of the farm?
Stand guard. The filthy militiamen from the city are coming onto our land more and more often and stealing everything they can get their hands on. Only last week the bastards were here, and they took some of our sheep. If I could get my hands on one of them, I'd make short work of him.
But of course. Why don't the mercenaries help you against the militia?
Before they even turn up, I've already driven them off.
I need to talk to your father.
He hasn't got time, but I'm his deputy. What can I help you with?
By introducing me to your father.
You're a real tough guy and a good fighter, huh?
The best.
I think maybe I better get him then.
Never mind, boy. I'll find him, I'm sure.
If you say so.
So where are we headed then?
Are you the foreman here?
I'll give you one upside the head, you rascal. If you want to go ambling across my land, you'll pay me 5 gold coins, or you're in for a good thrashing.
Your land? Are you the farmer here?
You can bet on that. Why else would I make you pay me a toll? I don't mind if you go ask the others about me.
If I have no choice, here's your money.
You don't even have 5 gold coins. Trying to pull a fast one, are you? I'll get you yet! I'll get you yet! I'll get you now! I'll get you yet! What do you want this time?
What's the matter?
Damn it. What do you want?
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
I'll get you now. I'll get you yet. I'll get you yet. I'll get you yet. I'll get you yet.
Everything else all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
Tell me that isn't true. It's totally obvious. It was his decision, wasn't it? Just listen to him talk. Who said that? Nobody ever asked me. I used to say that myself. I wouldn't have done that. Some problems solve themselves. He really should have known better. Anything's possible. There was no big deal. Tell me that isn't true. There have been all kinds of rumors. He thinks it's as easy as the things I can tell you. That's exactly what I said. He should have known better. I'm staying out of it. Had to happen sooner or later. Nobody ever asks me. It's better to watch out who you tell. No one really wants to hear that. I could have told you that before. Things I can tell you. Nothing's ever gonna change. I could have told you that before. Just listen to him talk. I wouldn't have done that. It's better to watch out who you tell.
I know nothing about picking locks.
Do you really think? Why haven't I heard about this before? That's exactly what I said.
What do you want this time?
Hey! How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore. The king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
What can you tell me about this area?
There are 3 farms here. Owners to the east and Sekobs in the north end of the valley. There's a path up to the high plain in the southwest. That's where Bengar's farm is.